So this is a video about how to draw a histogram with Excel. And I downloaded daily prices for IBM, and these actually include daily returns. So what we need for a histogram, and histogram is just a chart of frequencies. So what we need is bins. So first, what I'll do is I'm going to create these bins by hand manually, and then I'm going to use Excel's automatic process to create these bins and then therefore create the histogram. So the first manual is a little bit time consuming, but I think that it's good to see the process that Excel does automatically. So I'm just going to call this bins, and I'm going to create a few categories, bins. So any day that we had a return that's less than 5%, and then between 3%, well, negative 3% to negative 5%. So let's fix this. Also, when I say less than 5%, less than negative 5%. And then between negative 1% to negative 3%, and then between 0 to negative 1%. And then the positive side, between 0 to 1%, between, I'll just do it symmetrical, so between 1% to 3%, and then between 3% to 5%, and then more than 5% a day. So let's make this bold, and all I'm going to do now is count how many days we had that had a daily return that's less than 5%. So I'm going to do count if. The range is C2 all the way down to C59. I included 60 days of trading days, but we don't have trading the last return for the last day, so C59. Now this is our range. Now we need a criteria, so we need any day that had a return that's less than negative 5%, and we have a single day. So out of the 60 days, IBM price went down less than 5% on a single day. So now we need to do between 3 and 5% drop. Now I'm going to use a multiple count if, so that's count if S. This allows me to do double criteria and double range, so in between two numbers. So the criteria is the same, C2, C59. In fact, oops, I'm going to copy this so that since I'll be using this quite often, the range will be the days that had less than 3%, and then, well, this is in between -3 and -5, so the days that had more than -0.5. So less than 3% means any day that is actually a price drop of less than 3%, but we want those days to be still greater than 5% drop. We have none. So then what I'm going to do is, just to make my job a little easier, I'm going to copy the whole thing, and I'll do the same for 1% and 3% range. So first 1%, and then the 3%. The idea is we want to count the number of days that the return was less than 1%, but still greater than 3% drop. I'll do the same for 0 to 1%. So we want days that is less than 0, but still greater than -1%. So in between 0 and 1% drop. Now we want to have, I'll copy this again. We want to go between 0 and positive 1%. So we want to have the days that are greater than 0 and less than 1%. Right? And what I'll do is I'll copy this so that my job will be a little easier on the next one. So these are the number of days that the IBM price went up. So positive, greater than 0, but still less than 1%. Now we'll do the same between more than 1%, but still less than 3%. And then more than 3%, but still less than 5%. And now we want to have the days that are more than 5%, or that went up more than 5%. So count if C2 to C59, and then this is greater than 0.5. So none of the days. Now notice I didn't use any sort of inclusive, meaning, so for 0 to 1, I didn't count the number of days that had a exactly 0. And you could decide which one of the range you want to be, make it inclusive, and in which case you could just add right here, greater than and equal to, and so on and so forth. I just basically assumed that in finance we barely have any round numbers, and that would be a very lucky day, I guess. So once we have these bins, and I want to actually name them, these are frequencies. So we have a single day of occurrence of a return that's less than 5%, and no occurrences of between 3 and 5% drop. And then 1 to 3% drop that happened 15 days out of the 60. And then 0 to negative 1%, 10 days, and so on and so forth. So then the rest is easy. I basically select these and then go to insert. Actually, I go to insert tab right here and then choose a 2D column, and that's your histogram for the distribution, right? Now, this is how you do it manually, and I think that with manual, you kind of have a understanding of how it works, but Excel and other spreadsheet softwares have easier ways of going about this. So I'll show that to you as well. So now I still need the bins. So I'm going to say, let's start with 0.06%, well, negative 6%. And I'm just going to increment it by a single percent increase. And all I'm doing is I just don't want to write this by hand. So I'm basically just adding 1% to it. So it will be negative 6%, negative 5%, 4%, 3%, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to copy this down. And then I need a few more, maybe one more. It should be enough. So then let's call this bins. And then what I need is the frequencies, but Excel is going to do that for us. So what I'll do now is I need to go to data, that's the tab, and I need data analysis. Now, if you don't have this, you go to tools, Excel add-ins, and then make sure that you have your analysis tool pack selected. Now, once you have that, go to data analysis and then find the histogram and click on OK. Now you need an input range, and our input range is C2, C59. And then you need the bin range, and our bins start at right here. And then we need an output range for our bin and our chart. I'll just put it right here. And you could also create in a new worksheet ply, or you could have it as a chart. If you click just on OK, you'll see that it will actually create the bin. And then notice how this is actually similar to ours. It's been already selected, so all we do now is go to Insert, go to the 2D column, and that's your histogram. So that's about it. Thank you.